Msimanga joins us now from our Pretoria studios. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for your time. Do you take responsibility?
Thank you very much, Vuyo, and good evening to the viewers at home. Vuyo, I've gone through the audit report and I've gone through the management report, and I'm still battling to find where, specifically talks about us failing or having known, about the irregular expenditure, or me having failed, to act. What it says here, if you look into the first level assurance, it says that, I hadn't, given a full support in terms of ensuring that the financial status of the city improves, which to a point is talking about the levels or the debt impairment, which we know is something that the whole of South Africa is struggling with. Then it further then says that there should have been a better oversight in terms of the general work that the municipality is doing, or that administrators is doing. But it never goes into a specific issue that of Glad Africa, and I'm still battling to find out where the ANC get that information. But let's put a number of things on record and set them straight. Last year, when this matter, when a whistleblower came up, we initiated an internal investigation by asking the municipal manager a number of questions. He responded to that. We then tabled the report in council in September. The ANC themselves said you cannot suspend the city manager, backed by the EFF. We then said, here are the facts, we want to then put them through. They said, okay, you can go on with the investigation, but you cannot suspend. We then agreed, okay, we'll do that. When we wanted to bring back the initial report back to council, we were again barred by a court saying that they are looking into the matter, and then we can then deal with this matter again. In November, we brought again another report to say, here are other issues that needs to be looked at. The ANC again said, you cannot table this, we'll deal with this in January. So I don't know, what is it that we were supposed to do more in addition to what we have done?
With due respect, you are contradicting yourself. On the one hand, you're saying you can't be held responsible for this, right? And you're saying nowhere in the report are you being implicated. You don't know where the ANC get its information from. And on the other hand, you are saying you tried everything possible, and it was the ANC and the EFF that blocked you. Which is which?
No. Vuyo, please hear what I'm saying. One, I am saying the Auditor General nowhere says that on the matter of the project management unit that the mayor has failed to play an oversight, because we have actually even provided documents relating to that. That's what number one in terms of what we are saying. Number two, we are also now saying the ANC is also now saying that we had tried to conceal this, and I'm saying from September we have been trying to take reports to council, which they themselves had tried to block, or had actually, interfered or even frustrated the investigation from happening. So I'm saying we have played each and every role that we were supposed to play in regards to this matter, and we have provided evidence, therefore, to the Auditor General. So it's not referring to any specific matter here. It's just saying the matter that, relating to level one assurance, and that talks about the role that I was supposed to have played in ensuring that, the debt collection or the debt book is managed better, is a matter that has been raised in there. And also the matter that, that then says that there should have been an overall oversight that had been played. And we're saying we submitted information or evidence to say that we have played an oversight and actually reported to council on that.
No, you didn't, because the fact that things still happened in spite of whatever it is that you're saying you have done means that you have actually failed. So you can't really wash your hands off this.
No, Vuyo, I urge you and I urge South Africans, and I think it's important that we educate South Africans about what the MFMA says. The MFMA, and if you go into section 117 and 118, prohibits the mayor or any member of the mayoral committee or any councillor from participating in any kind of supply chain management. Therefore, when you get a report in MACO that says we are in trouble because we are sitting with 10 billion rand worth of unfinished projects that are emanating from quite a number of years. You are then saying, what is the best solution? Then the officials come and say, the best solution is for us to go and look at a project management team that will be able to then assist us so that we are able to then manage the projects that are out there much better and implement much better going forward. The following time you get a representation that says, we've got a letter that is coming from the DBSA and National Treasury that says, you can go ahead and use Regulation 32. And then you get a letter that says, in MACO, that says, you are now sitting in a space where we have actually procured through Regulation 32 and everything has been done above board with all documents supporting that. That's where you now know that in terms of playing in oversight, everything has been done properly. So I don't know where the contradiction comes from or where we had failed in that.
So you are saying if you were to be the Premier of Gauteng, if an official behaves the way Mr. Musola is said to have behaved, you get a report and you feel there's nothing you can do about it, we'll have to accept that and move on.
No. Volio, please don't put words into my mouth. You're talking about a process that led to the investigation being initiated. I am saying to you, when the issue of the EPMU started, those were the steps that had been taken. So up to a point where there was a whistleblower that came our way, there was nothing that came in a document form that was untowards. When a whistleblower came, and that's where oversight becomes very important. When a whistleblower comes and say there is allegations of mismanagement or actually corruption or fraud that might be happening, that's when we started an investigation. We didn't go and start a commission of inquiry. We actually then asked questions and took a report to council. And what I'm saying to you here is that when we took a report to council, that's when the frustration of us not being able to bring the matter to its conclusion started happening. I've made an example. In September, when we laid this matter to council, the ANC didn't want the suspension of the city manager. Therefore, the investigation continued without the city manager being suspended. But that led to other problems because then it meant that when the report came, the city manager challenged the report, which couldn't be tabled in council, which means we couldn't even deal with this matter to its final conclusion.
From what you know or what you are able to gather, what is the relationship between Mr. Musola, the city manager, and the EFF?
Well, I wouldn't know. Mr. Musola has been talking to the EFF, has been talking to the ANC, has been talking to the DA. What we are now what we want to get to the bottom of is whether there is indeed any kind of maladministration or there's corruption that is taking place. And each will follow a different will follow a different route. If there is corruption, then the FSB, the finance board will have to follow a certain route. And if there's issues of maladministration, obviously then internal HR processes will now need to kick in. And that's where we are right now. And we're waiting for a final decision from a court of law that will tell us which way we need to go. And we'll see this to its natural conclusion.
Who brought Mr. Musola to the city in the first instance?
That's a good question, Voyo. It's on record. Mr. Musola applied as everybody else did apply. Mr. Musola was not part of the first group of people that was interviewed because after the initial interviews were conducted, it was found that the two of the people that had been shortlisted, there were outstanding issues of investigation that prevented us from appointing them. Then the same company which the aspirant candidates had actually applied through gave us the second list of people. So Mr. Musola was not brought, was not headhunted by anybody, had actually gone and applied, and records are there to show.
And you were happy with him initially?
Well, yes. I mean, he came with an impeccable track record. I mean, he came from working at different spheres of government. He had corporate experience and actually, had worked since 1994 in government departments, also in the private sector. But over and above that, he came across as somebody who was very eager to do the work that the municipality wanted to achieve at that point in time.
And where did hell break loose?
Well, I think the problem came in when, the meetings were not attended as regularly as they should have been, when questions were asked about certain, contracts or certain processes that had been followed. And then it emerged that, again, when this issue of Ms. Okap came up, and I asked him to do an investigation of all senior management positions that are held, that's when the relationship started getting sour.
Now, when you have been speaking when things were still okay, and you could still speak to Mr. Musola, did he share any frustrations with you?
Well, we spoke almost on a daily basis with Dr. Musola. You would appreciate that when you're coming into an administration that is riddled with comrades, you are going to face challenges. You're going to face challenges of sabotage. You're going to face a number of issues that needs to be addressed. And we spoke on a daily basis about the political atmosphere, both internally and externally, of what we found in the city, and what, in actual sense, was a problem in some of the programs and the projects that we were trying to implement. So we spoke on a daily basis about those.
And he is not the reason you are leaving the city?
No. Not the ANC, not the EFF, not Mr. Musola. Those are, last in the list. South Africans are first on the list. Ensuring that Gauteng needs to go, or goes where it needs to go, is first and in the priority of why I'm leaving.
Okay, that's why we're going to leave it. Thanks very much for your time.